got my driver's license, that it was the first thing that I was really like choosing to do purely for myself, and gave me kind of nothing. And I don't mean nothing in a like a emotional way, but if you're going to drive to the shop to get groceries to cook dinner, or you go out for dinner, or you go to meet a friend, like that's a like you are instantly you're going to a destination for a purpose, versus going to like where I filmed the visualizer, or on like the hills or mountains around Dublin. Like the purpose is just to go there and be there, not to go there and like do anything. And that was like really good, because you're choosing yourself, instead of sitting at home or whatever you're going to be doing. That is like time and headspace that you are deciding is for you. So I feel like things like that really, really help. Also, just art in general, movies, music, books, whatever it might be, poetry. Like, there's a reason that people have been doing that for thousands of years. It does something. So that is, I guess, the two main things. Who and what are the biggest influences on my production currently? I think my favorite artists of the last while have been people like B4U, Camilla Keller, DJ Python, Chanel Beads. Who else? And in a production way, it just feels so creative and like refreshing. There's like an X factor thing that they are like kind of discovering and finding with what they're doing. Obviously the McGee album, the Dijon album a couple years ago. I feel like there's amazing new music. Oh, Smurs, OK Lou, Astrid Son, ML Booch. Yeah, left field stuff. Who's my favorite DJ or producer at the moment? I'm not sure, but actually there's a funny story. In the summer when I took like 10 days as a holiday, and randomly ended up in like a club, or like a beach place that had that that TikTok song that was like dun, 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 no dun, 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 dun. The DJ, I think, duo who made that were randomly DJing this place, and when I saw their name or whatever for the day, I was like, oh, like, well, first I didn't know who it was, which is maybe not so good. But then when we looked them up, we were like, oh, it's that song. And then we're like, oh God, it's going to be like a TikTok, like producers, like first DJ set or something. I don't know. It's kind of an asshole thing to assume. But they turned out to really kind of, they kind of slayed the house down. They threw it back, and that was really, really fun. And they played like a great set. So shout out another. I don't know who else. I mean, Total Freedom, aka Bobby Beethoven, aka Big Gay Idiot DJ. Always has been my favorite DJ for the last 5 or 6 years. but that's like DJ. I don't know, producer. Anyway, do I watch sports? Yes. I watch football for me, meaning soccer for Americans. And actually, I do watch football for Americans, meaning American football for everyone else, which I've kind of gotten into via my girlfriend and her family and stuff, which I find super fun. Also, I just happened to go to a Dodgers game last year, which was like a couple months before they ended up winning the World Series. So that was like a fun little thing to get to witness. How Irish do I feel given how much I've moved around? It's funny. I would say I feel more Irish now than I did. I don't know if I'd say it. Maybe I don't feel more Irish, but it actually means more to me. I probably feel about as Irish as before. Even in London, like I hang out with Irish people all the time. But so like I still feel quite in touch, but what it means to me has increased for sure. What inspired releasing the fragrance with the vinyl? I think it was like a conversation I was having with my management about, expanding on the world of music and how can we help create something like that people can get lost in an even bigger way than how the music, or I guess what the music would do by itself. And I've been obsessed with the company we collaborated with, Folie à Plusieurs. I've been obsessed with their fragrances since 2019. It's the only thing I've worn for however long that's been, 6 years. So we reached out to them and they were open to doing something. And I think we have something really special. I really like how it ended up. Have I listened to the new Dijon album? I listened to half of it on my flight, coming out here to do the album release and the screening and stuff. My phone only downloaded half of it for some reason, so I listened to the first half. I think it is really like doesn't give a fuck in like a great way. I think he knows how strong like his writing is and can be, and I love that he's like kind of flexing his creativity, and like if it just feels like really cathartic production. At some point in some of the songs I was listening to, he's just like slapping the piano, and it's like all like if like listening to a cat like walk down a piano kind of thing, and like the rest of the instruments and shit are still kind of like playing the song, and there's just like these random bangs of like attitude notes, and it that's like what the whole thing feels like. It's like visceral kind of kinetic production. Some shit is like super loud and punchy and like coming from left and from right, and it's all in this like ecstatic kind of haze. So I really appreciate it. I don't think it's like particularly my kind of music, but I think it's great. It's just not really my thing, especially when I probably rinsed his debut album so many times. But I need to finish it, and I'll probably give it another couple listens and see. Yeah, love and respect to Dijon for sure. As a Brazilian, I recognize some funk music features in some of the songs. Is there a specific Brazilian artist you like? I like a bunch. I think there was a period around 2020, 2021 where I kind of was introduced to Brazilian music, and I just thought it was like from the future, like really incredible. So, like, what's that? What was that song that went massive? Parada no Bailao, I think. Uh, Someone showed me that on YouTube, and I think it had like 50,000 views, and I was like, this song is fucking crazy. And then like I had that on my USB. I was like playing it, I was listening to it, and then fast forward like a couple of years later, and like someone's little sister who was like 15 like sang it kind of like randomly while I was around. I was like, wait, how did you know that song? In my head it was like this like obscure niche like thing that someone had shown me like while we were playing music at a house party. And she was like, oh, it's like a TikTok thing. And I looked it up, and suddenly the song that I'd seen have like 50K views was on, I don't know, probably hundreds of millions on Spotify. But favorite artist, MC Drika, for sure. We were talking about trying to work together, but I think the language barrier is a little difficult. So I don't know. Agazero, fantastic. Agazero, aka what is it, ICQ Baby, aka DJ LHC, really, really good. Yeah, so many. Favorite concert I've ever been to? I'm not sure favorite because there's been so many good ones, but the most, and it's so funny because it's such a cliche, but the most life-changing concerts for me were James Blake in 2016. My tour and his tour that year we're kind of in the same city every night for a large chunk, but then one of the nights I had a day off and his show was on, so I got to see his show, and that was really moving, and it kind of changed my idea of how you could do a live show in general. I mean, you can see that in how the No Future tour, no, never mind, the Future Bound tour in 2016 turned into the Vertigo tour in 2018. That, and then I saw Radiohead at Coachella in 2017, and that was a really important moment for me as well. So yeah, I don't know if those are particularly favorites, but like really important and like kind of moving shows. How many tattoos do I have? 5, I think. Yeah, I think I want to get more, but I don't know. I'm not in a rush. It's my favorite food, and the last time I treated myself to it, it's dim sum, which is, if you don't know what dim sum is, it's like Chinese tapas, basically. It's like steamed dumpling kind of food, but it typically comes in like these small little bamboo. That's how they cook it, in like these little bamboo container, kind of. And it's like small sharing plates, basically. Last time I got it for myself, I think it was like a week or two ago, and I hadn't had it for a long time. And I was just going through this last final, working 12, 17-hour days kind of weeks leading up to the album. And I think I ordered it, and it was not very good. I need to find a better place near near mine. Who designed Dark Stuff? It's a mix. So this amazing designer called Jonna Meyer, or Mayer, Meyer, did the kind of insignia thing. Me and her worked on that maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's all come together in kind of bits. Kia did. I'm still using Kia's font that he made, and I designed a lot of stuff basically because of the budget issues we've had because we had to pay off fucking Third Brain to be able to release the music. We couldn't afford to have like a designer across everything, so I ended up doing a number of things like the physical packaging, album arts, tour posters, the merch. I'm not a merch designer. I'm really bad at that. So we had other people do the merch. Yeah, so kind of a mix. How do you think science has played a role in your music, especially since No Future and the idea of quantum physics in this album? It's just been a big part of my life, I guess. I'm so interested in the world, and so like part of that is like understanding the world and this, the difference between an incredible piece of writing and a page full of random words is the connection between the words. And like, I could write essentially the same story as whoever, insert famous writer here, and they would do a much better job at it because it's all about how these things that I can use, the words, are put together and create something just so much more than the words. And so like, I guess part of that is finding parallels between certain things, and you draw upon certain things that are so you, but that can like shed light on the world in like a fresh way. And I guess that's kind of how it comes out for me. Why is we ignoring Friday Night Song? Because it got cut from the album. So we're trying to talk about the album, I guess. Have I been happy as of late? Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'll maybe do another couple questions and then gotta get going. How many languages do I speak? I barely speak one, but it would be nice to be multilingual, polylingual, whatever you call it. I'm jealous of people who are, to be honest. What was my reasoning behind the autotune in recent songs? I'm not sure. I think it's just like I think it's beautiful, to be honest. And sometimes sometimes I use it as distance, especially when something's super intimate. It can help create distance. I guess a lot of autotune, like heavy autotune use, is really associated with like maybe like nonchalant vibes in like hip hop music. And I think of whoever it might be, Young Thug, Travis Scott, Blade, anywhere in that spectrum, really diverse spectrum, even someone like Lucky, and it has this like really cold feeling, and there's something nice about adding that as like an ingredient to even like, let's say, a song like Light Sleeper on the album, which I saw a couple comments complain about somewhere. They're like, why is there autotune on it? Because it really feels better, and I think it sounds way better. It makes me feel so much more. It's like it's got this thing to it, it gives it like such a deeper dimension. It gives a little bit of distance. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to quantify, but like some things feel really right with it and some things don't. And so it's, it's there appropriately. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's in the middle, sometimes it's not really there at all. It's just such a satisfying sound to my brain as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching through and your questions and hanging out. This has been fun. We want to do definitely a live stream like on IG, maybe this weekend, like we've done after the singles this summer. So I will talk to you then. And at some point, I definitely, like some people have been asking for, want to do a production thing, because I feel like that could be a fun insight into the world. So yeah, sending love. Thank you for listening. Dark out now. Tour on sale. Yeah. So fuck that bitch, she ain't one.